Welcome to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast, your guide to future tech trends and innovation in a language you understand. Now, over to your host, Neil Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. How is the summer treating you all? Have you picked up any essential travel gadgets that I need to know about? Or are you busy trying to get that beach body ready for the beach in your summer holidays? Like many of you listeners, I've emerged from the winter out of my man cave after many months of comfort eating, winter food, maybe drank a few too many pints for medicinal purposes, you understand. So I've started hitting the road again. I was inspired by the runners in San Francisco a few weeks ago, so I hit the streets myself, and I'm now trying to get my running shoes on each morning. It's not the running that's killing me, it's getting up early, I tell you. But if anyone else would like to join me in getting into shape, no matter where you are in the world, feel free to connect with me on Runkeeper. And this slow but steady ageing tortoise will help inspire you on your journey too. But today, I thought it was time we shared some first world problems together and how technology is helping a travel trend reach the mainstream audiences, and for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. For example, why is it when we book a hotel room, we get it for less than 24 hours? We can't check in till 3, but you've got to be out by noon the following day. And sure, they need to get that room ready for the next guest. But I recently experienced the problem firsthand of checking out of your hotel at 12 when your flight home is not till 6 p.m. What if I just wanted a power nap, a shower, charge all my devices, catch up with my emails, do a little work on my laptop? Is that too much to ask? Or am I in danger of turning into a diva? It was shortly after this thought that I discovered a company called ByHours, who basically let you choose the check-in time and length of your stay, such as 3 hours, 6 hours or 12 hours. First of all, a few of you listeners out there, I want you to take your mind out of the gutter for a few moments. This is not for illicit activities, but just techies and families wanting to make the most of their time. I think it's a great story, and we got to bust a few myths on today's conversation. So buckle up and hold on tight as I beam your ears all the way to Barcelona so we can speak with the team at ByHours, who are going to tell us all about the platform, which is soon going to be coming to a city near you, if it's not there already, of course. So a massive warm welcome to the show, guys. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
I'm Rosa Gonzalez. I'm the PR and comms manager at ByHours.
Hi, I'm Xavier Colomés. I'm Marketing Manager, CMO here at ByHours.
Now, I've been reading recently about the increased demand for hotel microstays and how it's here to stay, and it's also growing at quite a rapid rate. Now, my understanding is microstays have proved themselves to offer serious business potential, joining covetable and property-defining added services, but they are also fast becoming an established part of hoteliers' revenue-boosting armoury. But I'm quite conscious, for anyone listening to the show that has never heard of the concept microstays, can you educate us all about precisely what a microstay is, who uses them, and am I right in assuming that it's not just people who have illicit affairs? I mean, can you bust a few myths for me there?
I'm super happy to bust some myths for you. So first things, what is this trend, this new travel trend that we are listening about, which is microstay? So microstay is very simple. It's booking a normal hotel room from an already existing hotel that you know from a chain where you used to spend the night. Now you can book it thanks to ByHours, choosing your check-in time. And this means no more waiting until 2 to check in to your room if you are ready by 10 a.m. You can choose the length of your stay, and with ByHours you can choose 3, 6, or 12 hours, and most importantly, you pay only for the time you need. Basically, with the microstay, what we change is a massive change of concept in the hospitality, because the hotel room becomes an office, becomes a place to rest, becomes a place to wait comfortably with privacy and with Wi-Fi and charge your phones while you are traveling, becomes anything you need to. So that's why it's way more than the classic concept of or conception of hotels by the hour where you only go to have some romance. And actually, Neil, if I can advise your podcast listeners something, is that if they are going to have some illicit activities, they better don't do it with ByHours, because we ask for a credit card on the moment of booking. So anything that you book in ByHours will end up in your bank statement. So if you have something to lie or to hide, maybe it's not the best platform. And no need to say that the check-in process is normal. You check in the hotel as any other guest.
Fantastic. It's great to hear you busting some of those myths there as well. Can you also give me a few examples of how millennials in particular are embracing microstays, and just a few of examples of why they seem to be embracing it more than other generations?
Well, one classic case could be booking with ByHours to access the hotel gym. We have experienced that many young customers who are, for example, visiting a friend at a city or just booked an Airbnb, they book with us in order to access the services of a hotel. That could be the pool, the spa, the gym.
So with the rise of Airbnb, do you think microstays are providing hoteliers with that revenue-boosting armoury? And how many are actually embracing the idea, and how many are still resistant a little bit?
Well, so far we're partnering with more than 3,000 hotels located in Europe, Latin America, and Asia. And many more will come as the model grows and expands. Some of our partners are making up to 10,000 euro extra monthly from our microstays. And well, the aim is to increase this amount in all the hotels worldwide. ByHours is for hotels, not only an optimization tool for empty rooms from the empty rooms they have during the day, but the key to attract new customers who just need a room for some hours, not for the night, and while paying just for the time they're staying.
So one of the questions I've got to ask, I mean, did the concept of microstays really originate from those capsule hotels in Japan? Can you tell me more about the history of the concept of microstays?
Actually not. The difference is that the capsule hotels or anything similar is a building establishment built for that purpose. What we do in ByHours is we bring flexibility to hotels that already exist. And then you mentioned Airbnb, that they are seeing that the market is changing, but they don't really get the grasp, or they cannot really see what's going on. And what we bring to them is the flexibility they need to attract the new market trends, the new consumer, like the millennials and the people who is used to fair price or pay per use. And about the idea, it tells you a lot about our DNA, because we have two founders, a serial entrepreneur, Christian, and a long-time hotelier, Guillermo. They met 6 years ago, and Christian made a very important question, which was, why the minimum stay in a hotel is 22 hours, not even 24, because you check in at 2 p.m. and you have to check out at 12. So he was like, I don't really get it, with so much going on in the tech side, why hotels do not adapt to the market trends and to flexibility. And Guillermo was like, this is a very good question. And the result of that conversation was ByHours, which is now a reality in, as I said, 20 countries and working with 3,000 hotels worldwide.
Now, I love the fact that in that conversation there, you mentioned that somebody said, I don't understand why this is still happening when there's so much technology out there. So my next question has to be, what role has technology played in ushering in microstays and bringing it into the mainstream, do you think?
This is one of the key concepts in ByHours, is the technology, because of course this is an idea that many had before, right? So, hotel rooms, flexibility in the hotel. It's something that every time we have to wait for our check-in time at 2 p.m. or we have to drag our trolley around the station, it's something that we think about. But the key was the technology that allowed hotels to sell and resell rooms for only few hours, and that's what we provide. So we have the technology, of course. We are a B2C platform, so with us, customers can download our app or visit our website, and they will have a list of hotels who sell, or they can book in Microstays. But what we also do is the backend technology for the hotel, so they can quickly add, manage their rooms in ByHours. And as I said, many hotels are reselling and increasing revenue thanks to our technology, even when they are at full occupancy, which is if you are a revenue manager in an important hotel chain, this is kind of a dream made true for you.
So can you tell me more about ByHours? What makes it stand out from other solutions out there that are offering microstays? And also, what cities you currently serve?
What makes unique ByHours basically is that as creators of this flexibility in the hospitality industry and having our founders knowing everything about the hotel industry, we have a very, very good expertise in how this flexibility is made real to the market. So we understand hotels, we know how to get customers. When we arrive to a new city, we know how to get our word out there. And basically it's a win-win model where we grow from the benefit of the hotel and the benefit from the customer. And this is something that as a technology startup, this is very powerful for us. Regarding cities, we operate in the main European capitals, especially if there's an important airport. That's a sweet spot for ByHours. So, of course, Barcelona, where we were born, Madrid, London, Berlin, Milan, Roma, Paris, and the list goes and goes for 200, but the top 10 European will be this, plus some cities that work very well in ByHours, like Dubai, Bogota, Buenos Aires, and as I said, main connectivity hubs around South America, Middle East, and Europe.
Excellent. Have you hit the US yet, or is there any plans to hit the US in the future?
Yes, actually, we are right now preparing this US approach, and we would like to go, in the last quarter of this year. We are planning to go big in the US, so that's our next steps.
I think it's an ideal market for ByHours because ByHours works very, very well in countries where there's a lot of internal business travel that doesn't include pernoctation. So it's people traveling from Berlin to Frankfurt for the day, or from Barcelona to Madrid, or from Rome to Milano and coming back for the day. This is kind of the main use case of ByHours, and we know that this happens a lot in the States, and we have so many important cities that with such a quantity of business travel, ByHours, we are sure it will be a great fit and a very important innovation for the business, and not only business, also all kinds of travelers in the States.
Now, you did give me a long list of various uses for microstays there, and it probably could be hundreds, but I mean, can you share the funniest or most interesting story that you've heard about microstays? Has anything appeared on your radar over the last few years that you could share with us today?
Of course. We talk about perceptions and misconceptions at the beginning, but we have stories from our customers every day, from families. Many families tell us that traveling with young kids addicted to screens now with ByHours is much more easy. So it's something that we really appreciate. Last week, we had a very beautiful email from a customer, a woman who was pregnant, and she was like, I just needed to lay down for 10 minutes. And I was like, where do I go? She took the app and did it. So it's beautiful. And in the fun side, I think the funniest thing that happened to us related to Microstays was last year when we paid for a newspaper ad, and we offered two important political leaders in Spain, one Spanish and one Catalan. Of course, your listeners know that there's a lot of controversy in the politics in Spain. We offered them 3 hours, a microstay, to just talk, to see if they could, have a place, relax, take it easy, just have a talk. And Twitter went crazy with the idea. So we had a ton of retweets and people were congratulating us. And many asked us, did they accept the offer? Well, we're not sharing this. This is a state secret. We will never tell if this meeting finally ended.
What a fantastic story. It reminds me a lot of the kind of thing that Richard Branson used to do with Virgin, and that different angle of, really getting a great attention towards your brand. But what's next for ByHours? Is there anything else you can share with us today?
Well, apart from the US expansion, I think the US approach, I think is our objective to turn ByHours global. The US is for sure a promising step, but the objective is global. It's not just stopping there.
Fantastic. Well, before I let you go, could you just remind the listeners of where they can find you online, and also contact your team if they have any questions or just want to carry on the conversation, and of course where they can download the app for ByHours?
Sure. I mean, anyone who wants to book a microstay just has to visit www.byhours.com or just download the app through, I mean, it's free, through iOS or Android.
Yeah, I mean, we are very easy to find. Just Google ByHours or Hotels ByHours and you'll find us.
Fantastic. Well, a few weeks ago, I found myself in San Francisco covering a big tech event, and I found myself having to check out at 12 o'clock, and my flight home wasn't till 6 p.m. So I ended up, all I wanted was to charge my phone, do some work on my laptop, and instead I found myself in the middle of a park for a couple of hours, sunburnt my face of all things, so I ended up getting on the plane with a pink face. But if something like ByHours was around just for me to be able to sit down, charge my phone, do a bit of work on my laptop, that's all I wanted at that moment in time. So I think it's a fantastic idea, and a big thank you for coming on today, not only sharing this idea but also busting a few myths too.
I love the situation that you explained, Neil, because that's exactly what we do, and this is our main use case. You know, people who is traveling and they end up early, or they have a meeting cancelled or delayed flights. It's for people like you that really values their time, and they know that they have a place around the corner where they can catch up work, shower, and trust me, if you had used ByHours in that occasion when we are available in San Francisco, you get home so much better. So it's not how you live, it's how you arrive. That's what our customers tell us.
Oh, it's a great concept, it really is. And I could have even recorded another podcast, couldn't I, in that couple of hours, man? Thanks again, guys, I really appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I do travel in a lot of cities, and I can stay there for anything between 5, 12 and 36 hours just to cover an event. And sometimes I wish there was a way I could just escape the madness of the show floor and check my emails, write an article with access to power, sitting on a sun deck, maybe even visit the gym, have a snooze or a shower, just as I'm passing through. But I don't actually need a bed for the night. Now, today's story gave me an epiphany that this service that ByHours are offering here is a service that would be really, really useful for me. Why accept the fact that I have to wait 6-7 hours for my plane home? And this is a great opportunity for hotels here. As Xavier said there, you arrive home feeling much more refreshed if you've had a snooze, caught up with work, exercise, showers, or just as you arrive in the airport. But hey, what do you think? Is ByHours a service that would come in handy for you? Have you already used the service? Would you like to share your experience? Step into this podcast host's office and tell me all about it. And if you don't want to do that, just email me, techblogwriter@outlook.com, or tweet me at Neil C. Hughes. So keep those messages coming in, but I'm afraid we've reached the end of another episode. So peace and love to each and every one of you listening. And until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thanks for listening to the Tech Blog Writer Podcast. Until next time, remember, technology is best when it brings people together.